So today is Super Bowl night. The Super Bowl is still on right now. LA is behind 16-20, and the Super Bowl's not over yet. But I figured I'd throw out this video right before I get ready for bed, since right now it's almost 10 o'clock, and obviously I'm facing a long drive to Wall Street in the morning through the goddamn traffic. So anyway, I wanted to point out what's going on in the stock market. Obviously, we're having heavy fluctuations in the Dow Jones Industrial Average, as well as the S&P 500 and a bunch of other indexes. The entire stock market, for the most part, is down for people who bought in while it was at its highs. However, if you got in, years ago, you're definitely still up, regardless pretty much what you purchased, unless you went heavily into Facebook. Now, what I wanted to point out was three stocks, which I call the stay-at-home stocks. Peloton selling these ridiculously expensive exercise bikes with a subscription service to class. To me, that makes no sense at all, because it seems to me it'd be so much easier to just buy a regular exercise bike and then position it in front of a television and then just watch YouTube exercise videos. That seems to me to make more sense. And as far as tracking your calories or whatever, you could just do that on most of the bikes, because most of them have some kind of calorie tracking. But anyway, long story short, Peloton got its biggest rise during the pandemic because it was a stay-at-home stock. And now Peloton is down to $34.68 from a high of $162. Peloton is basically, it's kaput. I mean, yeah, they may figure out ways to sell more bikes in the future, but the thing about it, people abuse their gym memberships. If you have a gym membership that's costing you $20 a month, realistically, you have to get into the gym at least 3 times to really break even in a month. And with all that's been going on, people scared to go outside for various reasons, gym forcing you to have masks on and making it difficult to exercise and still be able to breathe. It's easy to understand why there's a lot of people who have gym memberships that they haven't been taking advantage of. But realistically, just to break even, you need to get in the gym at least 3 times a month. However, most people say that you really need to be there 3 times a week, especially if you're trying to lose weight. Peloton is dead. I mean, it's just not going to be what it was. It was a stay-at-home stock. It's done. It's done. Netflix. My friend on her channel, Michelle Markey, she had a question about whether or not it made more sense to buy Netflix or Google. Netflix was another stay-at-home stock. I don't anticipate there being another pandemic quarantine in the rest of my life. There are a lot of people who are subscribed to Netflix. I've never been one of them. And Netflix reached a high of I think this was what, 600, and I can't do it. Oh, $690, almost $700, and right now it's down to $391, and it's still plunging. Now, there is news about this. They did have a small rally, but I think that's what they call a dead cat bounce. But ultimately, Netflix, I don't feel that this is a good time to buy Netflix. I think Netflix is basically weakened. Now, another one that I didn't think about was Facebook. Now, I've already expressed my opinion about Facebook. I fucking hate Facebook. I hate Zuckerberg. I still have a 30-day suspension that I'm finishing up. I think I have like 7 more days. I hate them. I really hate that company with a passion. And me personally, I've done nothing for Facebook. I haven't given them any money. I barely give them any data thanks to Apple and its privacy policies. The only thing I put on there is reposted memes, and I have a little Jeep Grand Cherokee SRT Trackhawk channel on YouTube, or page as you might call it. But that's it. I hate Facebook. So the thing about it is, as far as I'm concerned, yeah, because of the fact that you have Meta and because of the fact that you have this virtual reality push in the future, and Facebook already purchased Oculus Quest, which the Oculus Quest 3, which is going to be like Oculus Meta is coming. Yeah, because Facebook has that kind of hardware, I would have to probably say that Facebook, if you're willing to buy it, even if the price drops $10 or $19 or whatever back to 200, Facebook is still a buy, despite the fact I hate that company. I really do. I hate Zuckerberg. I hate that company. I can't wait till something comes out that completely obsoletes them and makes them plunge into the fucking toilet. But the reality is, for right now, for the short term, it is a decent buy. What's funny is Facebook has continued to fall in value within this past week or two after posting their pathetic earnings, which they blamed immediately on Apple and its privacy policies. However, over the next couple of years, Facebook's going to probably return to the $300 range. So whatever money you did put in there, you probably don't have to worry about it. You're going back up. There are other places that you could probably spend your money instead of Facebook, but the thing about it is, it's a decent buy, I'll say. Zoom also took a massive plunge after the coronavirus pandemic pretty much ended. $559 was its high. Right now, it's trading at $141. So as you can see, that's a pretty huge loss. Now, I feel bad for anybody who bought in over $500 because they lost a lot of money. But it's easy to see what happened. Zoom was the new big thing that everybody had to have for video conferencing up until Google was able to get itself situated to handle Google Classroom. Students and workers at home were able to pretty much use Google Classroom and Google's Net Meeting, and Google has continued to retool itself, which is one of the reasons why I continue to say Google is the stock that you need to buy. So my thing is, Google's stock has dipped a little bit because of this news of the Federal Reserve with the $30 trillion of debt and the fact that the Fed claims that they're going to raise interest rates, which I really don't believe it'll be significant. When I was a kid, interest rate was 10% at the bank. I was getting 10% on the money I had in the bank. Now the interest rate is 0.05. Now, the Federal Reserve cannot raise interest rates too high because we have a national debt that's $30 trillion. We don't have enough GDP to pay back the national debt if the interest rate rises above 2%. So ultimately, even if the Fed tries to inch up to 1%, they ain't going to 2%. And as for the housing market is pretty much fucked for a number of reasons. So number one, the housing market is screwed because a lot of people have purchased all the really good houses, which means that, as they're saying, you're facing a future in the near future where the starter houses are $400,000. Most people aren't going to be able to afford a $3,000 or $3,500 mortgage a month before you factor in utilities. So home buyers confront an abnormal market for yet another year. There's nothing abnormal about it. Now, if you remember my channel, I was telling people back in 2017, guys, get yourself a house. I didn't even see COVID coming. I never could have imagined COVID was coming. What ultimately it was for me was I thought that I was going to be married, and that's the reason why I focused so much on getting a second house, and ultimately that didn't happen, partially because of the pandemic, and it caused men to sit home and rethink their lives and rethink their place with women. But ultimately, I rushed into a house because I thought I was going to be married, and I just wanted a bigger house. That's all. I just wanted a house with more land. I wanted a house with gun rights. I can keep guns in this house. I can't keep them in my queen's house. So that's the bottom line. Interest rates are still low for mortgages at a 30-year fixed. However, a starter house is so expensive that you probably can't find them. Now, you're going to get a lot of people who say, oh, yeah, well, I can find a house. It's not going to be the prettiest thing in the world. It's probably going to be in the ghetto next to a crack house, a trap house, or some hoodlums that you don't want to live next to. But the reality is, we all know what we mean when we say we want to buy a house. We want to buy a house that's decent yard, decent neighborhood. You don't have to worry about getting your car stolen every fucking morning. But that's not the reality that most of these people are facing. What these people are facing is they're facing sky high rent and sky high home values. The mortgages may be relatively low only because of the interest rate, but if the house is $400,000, your mortgage is going to be pretty fucking high. However, what I can say is the smartest thing to do is buy real estate if you can, because it's ultimately the only hedge that you have against inflation. It's the best possible hedge that you have against inflation. And that's just it. They can only make so many houses. There's only so much land. A lot of the developers have chosen to go into really big, expensive luxury developments because they know that they'll get their money back. Right now, the materials for building houses is so high that they would rather not build houses because houses are so expensive to build. And they're also expensive right now because of the values being so high in these areas. So ultimately, they would rather go into developments, luxury apartments, and houses like that. So ultimately, if you can get yourself some real estate, that's the best possible investment that you could possibly be making right now. What I will also say about Google stock is Google makes hardware. Google makes these phones. They got this Pixel 6. I just saw the Super Bowl commercial. They got this phone where black people can take photos and they don't have to worry about the skin tone being so dark. And so basically what you have is you have technology that is using artificial contrast improvements and whatnot. So they're calling it real tone. And this means that you can take pictures in low light conditions, like if you're at a birthday party or something. And so basically, I'm pretty sure other cameras are going to try to follow this. This is like the first time I've ever seen an ad that was so. I don't. What is this? Is this for Black History Month that we finally made a camera that can take pictures of black people in the dark? I mean, I have photos of me with light-skinned women and white women, and for whatever reason, it's easier for the camera to focus on us. I guess it's because the contrast on her is so high that I guess it turns itself down or something or whatever. I don't know how it works. I don't know. I'm not going to pretend that I know how it works. Bottom line is, Google is going to sell a lot of Pixel 6s. They're not going to probably sell as much as iPhone's going to sell when iPhone addresses this issue. But ultimately, I have faith in Google in the future. And I'd also like to point out something in the crypto market. The crypto market, as you can see, Bitcoin is 41,000. It could drop below 40. We don't know, but it could. XRP is still in the shitter, under 80 cents. It was 80 cents a little earlier, but it's still in the shitter. Shiba Inu has done virtually nothing. Dogecoin has done virtually nothing. Dogelon and all these other Ponzi coins have done virtually nothing. But the reason why I wanted to talk about that real quick is because Motley Fool, these people who basically copy paste real estate and copy paste crypto information, guy Chris McDonald. 2 reasons why Shiba Inu, Dogecoin, and XRP are soaring this weekend. Excuse me, this doesn't look like they're soaring this weekend. I don't know about you. But he wrote this on February 13th, earlier today, 2:27. I don't know what soaring you see, because I don't see it. But he's talking about as of 11 a.m., these meme coins appreciated 9% and 6.5%. I think you might want to check again, because that's not what it looks like to me. So anyway, he's talking about forced liquidations of these meme tokens have driven most of the incredible volatility. No, the reason why these things are so volatile is because they don't stand for anything. There's nothing backing them. They have no intrinsic value whatsoever. There's virtually no use case for Shiba Inu. There's virtually no use case for Dogecoin. I know AMC and Elon Musk keep tweeting about them and saying, yeah, we're going to accept those as payments, but my thing is, it doesn't make any sense. It's like, guess what? I have this other thing called the US dollar, and I could use that easier. I'd also like to say that it's really so disingenuous for them to ask questions like, should you invest $1,000 in Shiba Inu? I have a better idea. How about I take $1,000 and I go into the bathroom, I take a big dump, and then I wipe my ass with the $1,000. I think that use of the money as cloth toilet paper makes more sense. But don't tell that to Larry David. Supposedly, he came on with a Super Bowl commercial, and basically he's talking about how great these cryptocurrencies are. And I'm like, your massive pump during the Super Bowl to help the dump that was inevitably going to come later didn't do a goddamn thing to move the needle. You didn't even really move the needle. This is Bitcoin. You didn't even move the needle. In fact, in just today, this is today, 41,807, this shit was at 42 for God knows why. And this is where you are. Now, I want to keep pointing out Michael Saylor and all of these losers who are running their pump and dumps who keep saying Bitcoin's going to hit 100,000. So my thing is, listen, when it hits 100,000 years from now, whatever, please wake me. I'll be dead, but please wake me. So my thing is, guys, your massive pump and dump did nothing. Nothing at all. You did nothing. XRP, your massive pump and dump did nothing. This is today. What was it? It was at 82 cents most of the day. You did nothing. Nothing. Your dog coins with your little doggies on it, your little pictures of dogs, Shiba Inu, your little pictures of dogs on it, because, I mean, hey, it's got a dog on it. It must be important, right? Did nothing. How about this week? Did nothing. It went down. Okay, well, I can't say it did nothing. It went down. But, you know, it's really sad. This is what you're dealing with. This is the reason the market is so fucked up. During COVID, a lot of people poured a lot of money into the stock market because they were at home and they had nothing to do but gamble. And during that gambling, they ignored good companies that have a physical product and large subscriber bases, and they went after nonsense, meme coins, meme stocks, and that's just where you are. That's just where you are. That they went after garbage, and that's why they got where they got. So I'm sticking to my guns. Just like Warren Buffett, credit card companies, all the banks, I kept telling you, buy the banks, buy the credit card companies, buy oil stocks. This is where we are. We are at American Express. We're up at $191. We got a dividend coming in, 0.88. In fact, I should say this. I'm doing my taxes very soon. I got my DIV 1099 form, which is basically self-employed dividend investment tax return form. And my stock guy or my CPA has to basically, you know, punch in the numbers, and he's going to do my tax return very soon. Usually costs me about $200 to do my taxes, and my business taxes, he only charges me about $300 for. So, yeah, my tax guy is doing my taxes next week during President's Week. American Express doing great. Capital One doing great. Everybody's doing great. I can't say the same for all the meme coins. Can't say the same about Shiba Inu. Oh, we're going to the moon. We're going to Pluto. No, you're not. No, you're not. The FAA and NASA have said, no, you're not. You're not. You are not going anywhere. So, I should point out, Royal Dutch Shell A and Royal Dutch Shell B are now gone. Their symbols no longer apply. They combine these symbols into just one stock, Shell Oil. Shell Oil right now is trading at 55.34. The 32-week low, the 52-week low. Now, this is why I kept saying I am an oil man. When you buy that oil, all you see is up. Why? Because they got all of you poor people locked into econo boxes and luxury cars, and you're all spending over $3 a gallon of gas. Because a lot of people are pissed off at Joe Biden. I'm pissed off at the government in general for having shitty energy policies, but what I do have to say is by betting on oil when it was $0 a barrel. All it's done for me is give me a dividend that pretty much offsets the extra that we're paying in fuel up until I can buy an EV. And that's just where we are. Now, I was going to make a video driving the Kia EV6. Unfortunately, it was embargoed until after the Super Bowl. So that means that I'll probably drive that car on Tuesday and check it out. There's also the Hyundai Ioniq 5, which I already drove, made a little video. I've already driven all of the Teslas, including the Model Y. I have videos on that. And what was it? The Genesis GV60 is the only other one I'm waiting to buy. But the reason why I'm saying that is because I've already told you about tech stocks. Now, some people might try to troll me, and they'll be like, oh, yeah, well, how's your KNDI, and how's your NEO doing? Guess what, guys? This is the problem. These dudes all want to get rich quick. They want to get rich quick. They're willing to throw their money at get-rich-quick solutions. I've already said this 100 times. In 10 years, I retire. My strategy is not get rich quick. My strategy is dividend-paying companies over the long term. 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. I'm thinking mostly about 10 years. That's why I made a video. I said you have to have a 10-year plan for your money. My real estate is set. I got 2 houses. If the market does crash, which I'm not anticipating, I will buy a 3rd house. And that's my plan. It's a simple plan. It's not glamorous. Somebody accused me of being boring. Okay, fine, if that's what you think. I'm not glamorous. I'm not flashy like that anymore. I'm not trying to have a dick measuring contest with people who are flashing NFTs. I'm not doing it. So my only thing is, in 10 years, I hope your NFTs have made you very, very, very rich, because that's not my goal. My goal is to be able to rent out my properties, to move to a foreign country. And like Philippines just opened its borders. And right now, you got all of these dudes rushing to the Philippines. Why? So that they can have girls with the buko juice giving you massages. And what are we talking about? We're talking about the girls selling you the buko juice. Is there a girl here with the buko juice? So y'all don't know about this Philippine buku. You remember in Apocalypse Now? You remember when, you saw the girl, she's like, oh, me so horny. And then the guy said, no boom boom with soul brother. And then he says, I don't know why, because it's not too damn boku. He said, yeah, it's too boku. In fact, let me see if I can find that. Let me see if I can find that. Let's see if I can find that. That's how I'm going to close out. I'm going to have the buko juice. And the thing about it is a lot of y'all are going to be trapped here in this country where you've got people running up on people, hitting them in the back of the head with baseball bats. I don't know if you saw that, but shit is going so crazy now that you literally, in fact, let me show you that real quick so you know what I'm talking about. Cause see, I gotta pull this stuff up so you know what I'm talking about. You got these crazy people. Where is it? Watch history. Hit in head with baseball bat. So there's this young woman walking on the street, not bothering nobody, and you get some piece of shit who runs up on her and clocks her in the head with a fucking baseball bat, and then they only charge the bastard with assault. As far as I'm concerned, I would have had him executed. And my thing, look at this. Look at this shit. This is what we're dealing with now. Now, this is Seattle, I believe. This was Seattle. Look at this shit. And they didn't even show it. And I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Like, that bastard, if it was up to me, if I was running this government, if I was your president, I would have this bastard shipped to that woman's country, which is China. And I would have them just execute him over there. Now, look at this. Look at this shit. Man, I would have had that bastard executed, period. And I don't want to hear anybody saying, oh, yeah, well, you shouldn't have this much energy because she's not fighting for you. I don't give a fuck. My bottom line is law and order. I'd have had this bastard shipped to China and executed. Period. So, where was I? As far as this buko juice is concerned, where's this buko juice? Okay, so, let's see. Filipina buko juice. Yes. So, my thing is, I'm going to be in the Philippines with some young chick serving me the buko juice. And you don't know nothing about the buko juice. I'm going to have some nice young Filipinas serving me the buko juice. And that's the reason why all these dudes are rushing to the Philippines. They just opened up February 10th. Get your flight. Get to Philippines. If you've never been to the Philippines, you need to go. Because you need to have the young girls serving you the buko juice. That's what I'm talking about. You got to have it. Look at this buko juice. You gotta have the goddamn look at the buko juice. You gotta have the young girls serving you the buko juice. You know what I'm saying? No, you don't know what I'm saying because you haven't been there. I have. 59 days from now, I'll be leaving out of here. I'm counting down the days. A380 business class. And I'm on my way to Maldives with my chick, and we gonna be on that Maldivian beach, just chilling, just doing nothing. I'm not doing no work at all. I'm just gonna be 59 days. So when I wake up in the morning, it's gonna be 58 days, and we're just counting down the days. We're gonna be in the business class seat with the wine menu, just chilling, and that's it. Cause see, this is how they do it. They have what they call the honeymoon seats in the middle. And when we get the seats, the way it works is you get 2 seats, you got all this goddamn space, you got a little divider. When it folds all the way out, you can basically make like a little bed, which is like not even the equivalent, I'd say, of a twin-size mattress. But for the most part, that's what it's all about. And I'm on my way to Maldives. I can't wait. I want to get the hell out of here. Maldives. And we are going to be, we're going to hop a couple of these resorts. Like there was 2 that I saw that one I'm booked in already, but there's another one that there's a couple you're allowed to just go to and you're allowed to check those out because they don't mind. I mean, you can go to their bars and stuff, or you can even book reservations. But this is what I'll be doing in 58 days from today. Yes, this is what I'm talking about. 4K video on my iPhone, coming soon, 58 days, business class Emirates, business class Maldives. That's how we're doing it. So I only got one question. If you invested your money in Shiba Inu, what are you doing for this spring break?